He's just. But before we get to him, I want to bring in his art rep, the one and only Mr. Mark A. Splash Page Art. Mark A., how's it going? Are you with me?
Hey, Mark.
I think he's here.
I am here.
Check. In the meantime, I just want to thank everybody who's been watching and participating. There he is. There's Mark A. How you doing, Mark?
I'm good. Looks like your stream is cutting in and out, maybe, or maybe it's me. I don't know. But hello, everyone. Hopefully you're hearing us both okay. Everybody?
Yeah, let us know in the chat if everybody has a comment here and just see if anybody's commenting. Oh, hey, cool. Jim Halpern, how you doing? Good to see you. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of really fun stuff, talking to a lot of really fun people here at Comic Art Live. And Jill Loudon is confirming, yes, I can hear you. Thank you, Jill. We appreciate that. So I guess let's Mark Squared. Hello, Mark. This won't be confusing at all when you have more than one Mark on the stream. All right, so let's get to it. He is one of our favorites. He is, of course, one of my favorites of Mark's clients at splashpageart.com. We're very honored to have him back with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Paulo Rivera. Let's bring him on in and say hi to Paulo.
Hey, Paolo.
There he is. Hey, Paulo.
Hey, Marks.
Good to see you, friend.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We always appreciate you being a part of this, and it's great to see you again. And we're going to really have some fun catching up with what you've been working on and talking to you about some stuff. And we're going to auction some pieces. We've got some really cool pieces we're going to auction off. So everybody stay tuned for that. For you guys that are participating in the chat, we will be doing that a little bit later in this particular segment. So stay with us. You might take home one of these beautiful pieces for yourself. So, Paulo, how you been? You've been coping with all this COVID craziness and everything? Everything going okay with you?
You know, we've been real lucky. It's the schools. I got 2 kids, and the schools are doing a fantastic job of keeping everybody masked. And if there is an outbreak, they let us know. And yeah, I mean, all things considered, it's been fairly normal. So I'm pretty thankful for that. And it's the only reason I'm still able to work. When it first went down, I was like, okay, that's the end of my career, at least for the next year. But fortunately, we were able to find childcare, and I was able to keep working.
Very, very cool. Mark, hey, I want to ask you a question real quick about Paulo and whatnot. For people that are new to this or that are not familiar with your website, let's tell them real quickly about Splash Page Art, because if some of these people are interested in picking up a piece from Paulo, they can do so at your website. So why don't you talk about that real briefly, and then we'll get back to Paulo.
Sure. So Paulo and I have been working together since he was a wee lad, and we have a gallery of his artwork all the way back from when he broke in doing the Mythos Spider-Man, Mythos Captain America, all the main characters for Marvel, painted pieces all the way up till his current stuff. We dropped some recent pieces of late, King in Black, Silver Surfer cover. And so we just made available a painting that's Batman 89 with him and over Joe Quinones blue lines. So it's a painted piece. So everything of Paulo's can be found in his gallery on splashpageart.com. The Batman 89 piece has not been added yet. It was just released yesterday on Comic Art Live. So it's in his Comic Art Live gallery. And you can find that gallery if you go to splashpageart.com. In the news section, it'll have a link to it. So you can see all kinds of Paulo stuff, painted, unpainted, his pencils and his own inks, his pencils and his dad's inks. So there's a wide variety of stuff to choose from.
I want to say hi. We got a lot of people in the chat. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Jeff Moy, what's going on, Jeff? If you guys have questions or comments or anything that you would like for me to read while we're on the air, just let us know. We'll be happy to take some of your questions during the panel. And as I said, we do have an auction coming up a little bit later, so stay tuned for that. Speaking of your dad, Paulo, we talked to you about that before on here. Obviously, working at having that kind of collaboration I imagine that's a really interesting and probably a very sort of gratifying thing over time to be able to have that experience. Does it ever did it ever at any point get kind of like, do you guys ever clash on what you're doing together, or is it just always kind of this symbiotic relationship?
I make things pretty easy for him. No, he just, he likes to get a page. I think he likes it more than his regular job, which is doing custom motorcycles, because it's just a lot. You don't have to worry about it. You have two options, white or black, and you just have to make that look good. Which it takes skill, it takes craft, but at the same time you can listen to an audiobook while you're doing it, and that's not always true of what I do, and also what he does. Like you can use your hands, your visual brain for some things, and let your other auditory stuff process a book. But if you're trying to figure out like where things go or how things should be rotated, then it actually you're like a computer processor. There are certain things you can't process at the same time. So I think he likes the inking, because I give him a finished piece of artwork and he says, I'll make it look good, and he does. Uh-oh, my screen just cut out. Okay,
we still see you.
It's my monitor. I don't think it's an internet issue.
Okay. If I know that some of the people commented in the chat, there's a little bit of a buffering issue, but stay with us, guys. It sounds like everybody can hear us okay. It's more of the video, but we're going to stick with it and keep it going. So Paulo, let's talk about what you've been working on lately. Mark was just mentioning the Batman 89 piece. What are some of the pieces that you've been tackling in recent months?
Well, so I've been working for about 30 weeks now with Marvel Studios, and that takes about half of my time. So I'm still doing some freelance work, but I can only take on basically like one painted cover a month, two if it's pen and inks. But that's been taking up, I feel like, most of my time. Of course, I can't talk about it, but it was just announced on Friday that I'm mainly working on Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is awesome. And then for a little bit, I got to work on the X-Men 97 relaunch, which was also really cool. So, I'll be continuing to work on that for as long as it takes to make the show. I have no idea how long that takes, and if I did, I couldn't say. But I've never worked in animation before, and I can't animate myself. But it's interesting learning about that part of the process that I've never done before.
Hey, Paolo, can you talk about what you're doing at all for the show?
Not at all.
Nothing? Okay. All right, I wasn't sure.
Well, actually, we had someone in the chat make a guess. Tyler L says that Paulo is taking over Stan's cameos. Now, that wouldn't be a bad hit. If that's what you got
to do. I would totally take that job. I would totally take that job.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations, because that's very, very cool, and I imagine that's a huge feather in your cap to be able to work for them. What is I mean, without getting into specifics, obviously, because you can't, what are some of the differences working under something like Marvel Studios versus Marvel Comics? Like, is the editorial process of that, is it easier? Is it harder? Is it just a very different animal? Like, how would you describe the differences there?
There's one main difference, and that is I get paid by the hour.
Okay.
Which is awesome. I've never been paid by the hour in my life unless it was waiting tables, and it's worth more than waiting tables. So I'll put it that way. Creatively, I can't say what I'm doing, but my favorite part of it is that I get to work directly with Ryan Meinerding. He's the head of visual development. So we had met previously, I think, going back to 2005, and I had always admired his artwork, and I just saw Marvel Studios blow up into what it is today, and he's been there from the beginning. So I was kind of surprised that I got to work direct, like he's making sure that everything looks good. And it's not just us, it's like everything that Marvel's putting out, which is a lot of stuff. So I don't know how he does it, like how he even keeps track of all those things. But it's been great working directly with him and also the rest of the team. It's just, and it's a worldwide team. I don't know if you know Leo Romero, but I've been working with, I think he's in Brazil. But yeah, every time we'll have a Zoom meeting, it's literally all over the world. The other guy is from Spain. So yeah, it's like everywhere, but we all love Spider-Man. So it's awesome.
I did want to make sure we had a comment in the chat here. Greg McKeon wanted to say that Superman Red and Blue issue that came out a month or so ago was so moving. I wanted to make sure and feature that comment because
thank you.
Good stuff, my man.
I was really, I shouldn't have taken on the job schedule-wise because I really had to. It was tough to get it done, but they made a lot of extra time for me that they probably shouldn't have. But it was great working with Tom King, and I'd wanted to work with him for a long time, and I'm really glad that they gave me as much time as they physically could to make sure that I could finish it and get it off to the printers because it was pretty tight. It was. I'm not the best with deadlines. I never have been.
I thought it was great how it told Superman's story essentially in 8 pages through utilizing the waitress as the time factor, showing how time is moving and all the different stages of his life. That was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as I read that script, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted for Tom. I didn't know what he was going to do. I had no idea. But as soon as he gave me the script, it's like, well, that's perfect. That's what I didn't even know that I wanted it, but it was exactly what I had hoped for.
So, Paulo, speaking selfishly, I want to see you do more of like the movie poster type stuff that you did before. Like we've seen you do for the Captain America and things like that. Why can we get Marvel to just let you do movie posters for all their movies? Can we just make that happen? Start a petition right now.
I would love that. The problem is, like, I need.
I'm sure that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, the Avengers ones, those last ones, man, that just took it out of me. Usually, if I do a big piece like that, it takes a lot out of me. But those ones were on a whole nother level. I'm not going to say it's like George Perez level, but it's
because
like
of the number of characters.
Yeah, the first one wasn't too bad, the Infinity War one, and that's because it had Thanos and a few ships and the Black Order and that kind of stuff. And then I got to the second one, and man, both movies had already come out by the time I was done. So, and not just that, I think they had come out on video. So I was actually like, on Amazon freeze framing things and being like, oh, okay, I need to know what it looks like from this angle. So yeah, I've almost recovered from that. So I might think about doing another one. What I've got my eyes on this time, I actually want to do one that's not for the studios, and not because it's not a great opportunity and not because it's not fun, but because I want something that regular people can actually buy, because my typical day is just getting emails saying, can I buy that poster? And me saying, I'm sorry, you have to be in the movie. So I would really love to offer one that people can, actually have for themselves. And
I remember
surprised Marvel.
What's that?
Oh, I'm surprised Marvel merchandising hasn't done something like that. Yeah,
they've asked. It's on my end. I can't paint fast enough. But what I want to do this year is I want to make one for the final Spider-Man, and I want to do it for one of the poster companies. I haven't signed up for anything. I'm just gonna do it on spec, as they say. Do some sketches and then see who bites. Because I'm pretty sure that movie's gonna be awesome. I don't know. I don't have any special knowledge, but we'll see.
I remember seeing that in-game poster and just kind of looking at it and studying it and thinking to myself, this must have really taken a lot out of Paulo. So much going on in there, and it's beautiful. But it's like seeing the layers of your brain unfolding on the poster.
Yeah, it was crazy, and like I worked on it a good chunk of it at like a Starbucks on a laptop. like, and not a good laptop either. I have a good laptop now. I bought one, but I was working on an old one, and man, it was tough. Not just to, it would have been tough anyway, but just to have everything render and get enough RAM, it was a struggle, but it got done eventually.
So let me jump in, Mark, real fast. So with
Sure, go ahead.
Joe Quinones laying out the blue line pencils for you on the Batman '89 painting, how did that speed up the process quite a lot, or
oh yeah,
was it
yeah.
about the same?
I love working. Joe and I have done that kind of stuff before. If I have a plan, I can paint pretty quickly. I can't say, like, if I'm gonna fully, let's see, I think Shazam on the Justice League piece I just did, I can do a full figure fully painted in about 12 hours, couple days. It takes me to, paint a full figure, depending on a bunch of other things. But what it is it's the drawing and it's the reference and all that other stuff that goes into it. So for instance, with the Shazam, and I posted this to my blog, it's 12 hours or less of painting, but then it's 12 hours of, I actually built a model in 3D and lit it in a program just to get the lighting that I wanted. So you have to get that information from somewhere, and some people can do it in their brains. I can't. Like, I can do some stuff like that, but when it comes to a face or reflections, that kind of thing, I need something. Especially if it needs to be look like it's part of its environment along with all the other characters. So actually, the Justice League piece, I've learned a lot about computer programs and just working on the 2 versions of that piece. So it wasn't done traditionally. It was all Photoshop. I'm sorry, Mark. I wanted to. I really did. At one point, I was going to paint them all individually and composite them in Photoshop, but
If you guys want some fun, go back and watch the moments where Paulo talks about working on a computer and look at Marquet's face, just go, oh God, oh.
It's a natural thing, Mark, these days.
Put it this way, I was thinking about you while I was working for Marvel Studios, because most of the stuff I'm doing for them is digital. But every once in a while, I'll be like, I need to do this. I need to do this for Mark. I need to make sure it's on paper.
If you guys are just now joining us, welcome to Comic Art Live. We are talking to Paulo Rivera. If you guys have questions, you can post them in the chat room. And in addition to Paulo, I've got Mark Hay from Splash Page Art on here. If you guys are interested in picking up a piece of original art from Paulo Rivera, go to splashpageart.com for more information on that. A couple of things I want to catch up with in the chat here. First and foremost, Max Machado says, more Hellboy covers. Comic book Hellboy. He always kills it. So yeah, he definitely is asking for more Hellboy covers.
Yeah, I don't have any lined up at the moment. I just put up a print, and then I'll be putting up another print, and those are pieces that I already did. So one was for the Kickstarter earlier this year about the Mike Mignola documentary, and then the other piece was from, I think, last year or the year before, with Lobster Johnson versus Hellboy in like a luchador style, which was, that was total fun. So I'm glad to finally release that as a print, hopefully by the end of the year.
Max also says, I love that he cares to make it perfect for him. A lot stopped working like that, or you can see the sloppy. Paulo is the man. And yes, we agree, Paulo is the man. Jill also says, art collectors feel the same way that Mark Hay does, and yay paper.
Yes. It's hard to collect a digital image, that's for sure.
Oh, I don't know, Mark. All the people buying NFTs would disagree with you right about it.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Basic says a lot of clipping and drops on Walter's audio. I apologize, guys. I don't know why that's happening. I'm trying to keep Paulo talking so you don't have to hear me. So.
And if Mark cuts out, I will jump in. But if I'm seeing somebody ask a question, what happened to the Baby Yoda, aka Grogu piece? Has it sold? It has not sold. Hi, Grogu. You're so cute. I want you for myself. So what we're gonna do, if that's cool, to do the Daredevil auction. We're going to start with that first, but I have a couple of things I need to say about it. And then I'll ask Mark Walters to post the piece. I had a customer who couldn't be here today who wanted me to proxy bid for him. It's a one-time bid if and when it comes to the amount that he is going to offer. If nobody offers that high, then I will post that amount, and that will end up being the reserve. But it's just one time. I'm not going to keep up for him. So we're going to start the Daredevil piece off at 400. Paolo, if you want to kind of tell everyone how you did this piece and how your dad was involved.
Yeah, so I wanted to streamline the process where my dad and I make original art, for specifically for pinups, not for published art. This one I drew digitally. I sent him the file. He printed it out in blue line, inked over that, and then sent it back to me, the original piece. And then I watercolored over his inks. So there's no original pencils underneath, but both of us actually worked on it, because I just wanted to figure out a way where we had to ship to each other less. And if this works well, I'll definitely do more of it in the future.
Great. And so people might not be aware of this, but the only pieces in the past that we had auctioned or made available through Comic Art Live were smaller 4x6 inch pieces. And this is actually a full size 11 by 14 or larger size 11 by 14 piece. So I don't know if we have anybody who has put the 400 out there, but 400 is the starting amount. So the auction is open at this point. If anybody is interested in the Daredevil at 400, that is the opening amount. So I haven't seen anybody yet in comments. But
I'm keeping an eye on the chat. If anybody wants to start this off at 400, just post in the chat. We will basically do a countdown before we wrap the auction. So if you're interested, and this is one of 3 pieces we're offering today, correct? Just making sure.
Yes. So there's 2 11 by 14 pieces, a Daredevil, which we just shown, and Amazing Spider-Man as well. And then the Grogu piece will be that's a 4x6 piece.
We're up to 500 currently from Ilya. Ilya is at 500. And thank you for both David and Jiggy for starting off the bids, but now we're up to 500. So that is the bid to beat if you guys are interested in this piece. But we'll keep talking for a minute, so you'll have a minute to think about it, because we don't want to rush you guys. I'm going to put the piece up again just so you guys can see it, because we might have a few people join us late.
This was I penciled this during the beginning of the pandemic when we didn't know what was going to go on or how long things were going to last. So I drew Daredevil in the rain and I drew Spidey in the rain.
That was your mood at the time, I guess.
It really was, because honestly, I didn't. My wife's got the real job, so like she's got to work 8 hours a day. Like it's all meetings and whatnot. So I wasn't we were going to be fine. I wasn't worried about our livelihood, but I love my job. And I was a little sad that I wasn't going to be able to do it full time. I love my kids too, but honestly, I love them more when someone else takes care of them for 8 hours a day.
Fair enough.
David Wasserman is in 600.
Yeah, David Wasserman at 600. Sorry, I was just going to say that as well.
We have a comment from the Vasic. Love your work, Paulo. Spider-Man Wolverine story was one of the best single-issue comics ever produced. You killed it on the art.
Thank you. You know what? Okay, I see it. I can read the comments. I had it on the private chat.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, now I can read. Oh, thanks. Nice. People are.
So again, we are up to 600 from Dave Wasserman. That is our current high bid. If anybody is interested in bidding on this piece, you're supposed to comment in the chat. We're going to keep it open a few more minutes longer because we have 2 more pieces we need to get to. But we'll keep this one going up. Jiggy Cruz is at 700. We are now at 700.
Wow, thank you.
Awesome. Like I
And
said, this is a pretty rare item in the sense that Paolo hasn't been able to do commissions for a hot minute, and the other pieces that we've been doing for Comic Art Live are considerably smaller.
Yeah, I mean, my home list. People ask me every day. People have been waiting for 10 years for some of the stuff. I got the big one done. I'm working on this. This was the problem. This was at the last Comic Art Live that I still haven't finished. But
let me hide this real quick so you can see it.
It's getting done.
Oh wow!
I think we bid it, and it kept going up, and it got too high. So he wanted more, and then so I charged him more, and it's a vicious cycle.
You're too nice a guy, I think, is the moral to the story.
Yeah, that should be the takeaway. Yes. But hopefully I will finish this, and then I'll get it turned into a poster, and I can kill two birds with one stone. We'll see.
That's fantastic. Congrats to whoever is getting that, by the way.
Well,
really, really nice.
Well, he's been waiting over a year, so
let's see. Jiggy Cruz says it's 2:27 a.m. here in Manila. Stayed up for you guys.
Wow.
Thank you, Jiggy. We appreciate that.
Wow, thank you.
Very, very cool. All right, so Jiggy has got the current high bid at 700. I think we're going to keep this open just a few more minutes because we still got 2 more pieces to get through. So if anybody would like to place a bid and outbid Jiggy and make him feel horrible for staying up till 2:27 in the morning, you can do so by posting in the chat.
Yeah, since it isn't moving fast, I'm afraid I'm going to have to throw the one proxy bid out now because we're not in the neighborhood yet. So I have a proxy bid of $1,200 for the Daredevil. What? So yes.
Whoa!
So it's the only proxy bid I have. There's not one for any of the other 2 pieces, but somebody saw this and was really interested in it. So, so 1,200 is going to be the proxy bid, and that's it. If you want to bid more than that, then it's yours. But 1,200 is the one proxy bid for the Daredevil. So, like I said,
So this will help us close. This will close it out. So we now have a proxy bid at $1,200. If anybody would like to beat that, and we can close this piece out, now is the time to do so. So, guys, this is where you show just how interested you are in Paulo's art. And wow, that's great. That's fantastic. So
sorry to stick it to you, Jiggy, but that is where that's where we're at.
Jiggy says, "Well played."
I feel bad.
I'm going to show it to you guys one more time so you can get one last look before we close this out. This is Paulo's Daredevil. And we are currently at a proxy bid of $1,200. So if anybody would like to beat that, now is the time to do so. We've got 2 more pieces to get to, but take a long look at this. Don't regret it later. Way to go, Mark. Way to crush everybody's dreams.
Yeah, sorry, everybody. Hey, you will have a shot at Grogu and at Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, so, and I've also I didn't know if we were going to do this, but I will finish this, and it won't take me a year. So I'll let you decide, Mark, whether you want to do Wonder Woman here or you want to put it up for later.
Well, I had people inquire ahead of time for asking, hoping that you would do a Wonder Woman piece. So yeah,
I can't imagine. I can't imagine who asked for that, but yeah, let's go ahead.
So why don't we wrap this one up, because it looks like 1,200 is going to be the winning. So our proxy bidder, congratulations, the Daredevil is yours. So sorry to rain on your parade, Jiggy, but if you can hang in there a little while longer, I think you might be an Amazing Spider-Man fan as well. So we could cut right into that one, or we could do Grogu next.
I'm gonna let Paolo choose. What would you like to see us next, the Grogu or the Spider-Man? It's up to you.
Grogu.
All right, that's where I was leaning.
Let's jump into Grogu. For those who don't know, everybody kind of calls him Baby Yoda as well, but Grogu is his formal name from the very well done Star Wars television series. If you haven't watched it, The Mandalorian, it is fantastic. So, and he is look at that expression. How could you not want this piece? So the opening bid is at $250. So if
there we go. We got two at 250. Okay, so CC28 at 250. Brooke, would you like to up that? Because we already have a bid of 250 in. So, Brooke, if you want to up that a little bit, then you will have the next bid.
So, Paolo, why don't you tell everyone how this piece is done? Because it is different than the Amazing Spider-Man and the Daredevil piece.
Okay, yeah. So this one I did myself. It's penciled on 4x6 illustration board, and then I ink it with a Pentel pocket brush pen, which is just one of these little guys.
We're looking at Grogu right now, not at your pen. So maybe Mark can make that.
Sorry, hang on. I was just wanting to show. Okay, there we go. We're at a current bid of 300 right now from Brooke.
Yeah, so I ink with one of these, and then over top that I watercolor, and then it has some highlights in acrylic wash, which is just acrylic paint that dries matte with a matte finish.
Okay, it looks like we got more bids coming in. CC28 at 350. And John Doe says, I'm betting that name is going to be retconned into a first or last name. Like, it's going to be like Grogu Miller.
I don't think that's going to be the case, but nice try, Mark. So it looks like we have
Brooke is at 400.
Bid 350, and then Brooke countered with a 400.
Thank you, Brooke. We're at 400 currently for Grogu.
Wow.
And once again, just in case anybody missed it, I'm going to show it one more time here.
Oh,
there we go.
Face. He looks just like my son.
Look at that bottom.
Is that the son trying to give dad a guilt trip for not giving him his favorite?
I have a heart of ice when it comes to my children. Like that's why they eat my wife alive, because she just, her heart melts and mine doesn't.
Wow. So we have Ryan Peters at 550.
Way to go, Ryan.
So fantastic piece.
Ryan's not playing around. He's jumping this bit up. What's that thing?
Wow. Thank you, Ryan.
By the way, Jill Loudon in the chat says, thank you for not having a frog hanging out of his mouth. Well,
you're quite welcome.
That's going to cost you extra if you want the frog.
Right. That's another.
Or the eggs. The eggs that cause nightmares for so many people. Yeah. Okay, Brooke B is at 600. We are now at 600 from Brooke B. Very, very cool. Some people are taking home some Paulo Rivera art today. That's great.
Yeah.
And once again, I want to remind everybody, if you don't get a piece today, don't worry, because sometime within the next 50 years, Paulo will get a few more pieces knocked out, and they will be available at splashpageart.com if you would like to pick up an original piece of art.
Well, and let me chime in real fast. We posted 2 4x6 pieces that aren't full figure like Grogu, but they are the little head pieces, and one is still available. So we sold the Green Goblin already, but the Mandalorian is actually available for only $200, $2 or $250, something like that, $200, I think, in the Comic Art Live gallery right now. So you don't have to mess with any other bidders. You can just go right now and buy the Mandalorian from us directly on the Comic Art Live gallery for Paolo. So right now, if you're like, hey, I want Mandalorian to go with my Grogu, go pick them up right now. So it looks like
we are currently at a bid of $700. Ryan Peters took us up to $650. We are now at $700 from Brooke B. Great companion piece. Nudge, nudge, says Tyler L. Yes, I agree. It would be a great companion piece for your Grogu. So, yeah, that's a great idea. Very, very happy to see that. Apollo, I think it's probably safe to say, are you a fan of The Mandalorian? Are you excited about the Boba Fett?
Oh yeah, I'm anxiously waiting for my kids to be old enough. Like I think my 6-year-old daughter, she could watch it, but I don't know if the boy is ready because I don't know it. I think they'd like most of it, but I think some parts would be a little scary for them. But I want them
Yeah.
to see it.
So why
But
haven't
it
you
seems
done
like
a
son
movie
did go as
poster
Grogu.
for? Where's our movie poster for Star Wars for the Mandalorian television show? Huh?
Well, I was slated to do a 40th anniversary Star Wars movie poster, and it got canned. Actually, I was supposed to do two. One was going to be for Sideshow, and then one was going to be for God, I can't even remember, and both of them got canned. So I don't know. Right now, I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to start one on my own and release it for the 50th anniversary. I'm sure somebody will do it. Because the thing is, like, if I do a sketch, like I got to do the back and forth, and like I know it's in my brain, I know what I want. I'm just gonna do it, and then once it's there, people can say yes or no. The poster companies, and we'll go from there. But I definitely want to do one for 50th anniversary, which
So it looks like we are at 700. Why don't we call that? Give it a 3 count or something. Last call.
Yeah, we'll count. I think guys,
Grogu.
We'll do a last call on that. We'll count down from 10. If you want it, you better post in the chat because otherwise you're going to lose it and you'll regret it forever. Because Grogu is going to be frowning at you for not picking him up when you had the opportunity. Like seriously, guys, it would take Paulo 4 more years to do another one of these. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
They don't take me that long. It's just that I got other stuff to do. What I need is a full-time assistant, but that's not happening anytime soon.
How old's your daughter?
Go. She's 6, and the boy is 2. So and like we have full-time daycare, but I spend a lot of at least 2 hours a day just carting them around, and it's tight.
I was a latchkey kid at 6, I think, back in the day. Maybe that's not okay anymore. But
you can't do that anymore, Mark. I mean, I'm sure you can, but I'm probably not going to.
All right, so we're gonna go 10, 9, 8, 7. Last chance for everybody. 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm watching the chat. 2, 1. And sold to Brooke B for some. Oh, wait. Oh, no, Brooke, you are. Oh, okay. So Ryan came in at $750. Brooke came in at $800. Brooke, you are taking it home for $800. Jeez. Congratulations. Wow. You got in at the last set. That was fantastic. All right. So Brooke B is the winner of the Grogu. Congratulations, Brooke.
Thank you.
And Mark, do you want to tell these? You want to tell these people what to do? Yeah.
Right. So you can go to splashpageart.com and go to contact and send me a notification through that that you are Brooke B and provide me with your address and phone number, and I will calculate shipping and get you a total. Paolo should be mailing me that package sometime soon.
I'm good at that. I've got a whole ship station down here, so
all right.
It's the one thing I'm very quick at. So
within the next week-ish, hopefully I will have that, and then I will turn that back out and ship it to the appropriate winners. So congratulations, Brooke. That is a fantastic piece.
Yeah, thank you, Brooke.
And we have also sold the Mandalorian piece now. Well, somebody sent through an email to purchase that, so I will get back with you shortly after the panel is over. But it looks like we've sold that as well. So congratulations to all the winners of Paolo's art.
Thank you so much.
And again, I'll take this time to remind people that if you don't win something here today, but you would like to obtain a piece of Paolo's art, go to splashpageart.com because Mark will have some pieces up there available for sale, including original pages. Don't fret. You can still get something if you don't get something today, but you need to do so at splashpageart.com. So, all right, so we got one piece left, and this, I got to say, not playing favorites here, but as a Spider-Man fan, this one really did blow me away. I just think that's such a beautiful piece. Spider-Man. Tell us a little about your working on this, Paulo.
Yeah, this was done at the same time, for my dad. Like I said, the pandemic had just hit, and I wanted to. Well, I just wanted to keep drawing, and I also wanted to make sure my dad had some stuff to work on, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to. Well, at that time, I didn't think I was going to be able to work that much. So I penciled it digitally. I sent him the file. He printed it out onto his own paper, inked on top of that, and then shipped it to me, where I watercolored over it. And that was I watercolored it this year. So it took him a while to finish them, and then he sent them to me, and then it took me a while to finally color it. But I did, I think either this month or last month, and finally got it all finished. It's watercolor, and then it does have a little bit of gouache and acrylic gouache, just where it needed some touch up here and there. Like you can see where you're looking through the rain at the inky black in the background. It's a little bit washed out. That's where I would paint over it with either gouache or acrylic gouache to give it that, look like it's through water, that kind of effect. But
Ilya is pointing out the background looks similar to the Daredevil piece, but kind of inverted. Yeah, it does. It looks like it could be a nice companion piece.
That's exactly. I mean, I kind of drew them as a pair, and I think. Well, he printed them out separately, but he printed them out bigger than I had originally intended. But it ended up being the perfect size for 11 by 14. So
Max Machado in the chat says he should auction off a commission. Time frame could be 4 years. Now, Max, listen, we can bust Paulo's chops, but
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm very. I always say yes to things in the future, and then very, very quickly the future becomes the present, and then I become behind. And so I am always cursing past Paulo for the things that he agreed to, thinking that the future would be any different than the past.
I think past Paolo needs to come to an understanding that the past is the past at some point. But
there is that aspect, but a promise is a promise.
Okay, so guys, the bidding is starting. We've got EC Harris at 800, and David Wasserman is coming in hot. He's at 850, and my God, Jiggy Cruz, you are blowing us away here, my man. $1,200 bid from Jiggy Cruz.
I thought Jiggy was a Spider-Man fan.
Jiggy is staying up late. He wants this thing. Oh my God, EC Harris is not messing around. He is in at $1,400. $1,400 from EC Harris. That's what we like to see here on Comic Art Live. Wow, coming with the heat.
Yeah.
EC Harris doesn't want to wait for you. Jiggy is wanting this thing. He wants it. He's not going to stay up late for nothing. He's at 1,500. So we're now. Oh, and EC Harris is back at 1,600. Wow, guys, you are blowing us away. All right, so we are at a current bid of 1,600 from EC Harris on this beautiful Spider-Man piece from Paulo Rivera. This is the last piece we will be auctioning off today.
No, actually, Mark, we are doing one more, which is
that's right, the Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman. I forgot about that.
The last large size piece.
The last large size piece, yeah.
And I've seen several compliments about you doing Spider-Man eyes correctly, Paolo. So apparently, your Spider-Man eyes are everybody's favorite.
Yeah, usually I don't like to toot my own horn, but I like the way I do Spider-Man eyes too. I don't draw them the way I used to. I used to draw them like too small, but I finally found, I think around 2012, 2013, I figured out like exactly how I want. I always do the lower lid a little bit larger, and I still leaving room for them to emote. But now when I look back at my early stuff, it's almost, he looks a little too angry. But now my basic take, it has a little bit more range than when I first did it.
Well, gentlemen, speaking of angry, Jiggy Cruz is back at 1,750. We have a bid of 1,750 on this
Very
piece.
Nice.
Wow.
Thank you, Jiggy. Jiggy he's staying up late and he's not playing around. He wants this piece.
So Greg McKeon asked.
I hope he's just not like his phone isn't just pressed up against his cheek.
Asleep. The drool is activating the bids.
Yeah,
So,
Greg McKeon in the chat wants to know, Paulo, do you have a favorite Spidey story that you have drawn?
I don't know. When I look back, it's really not that many. Like, I think when I really found myself, it was the 2008 story with the Punisher, because that one I wasn't crazy about drawing Punisher. Like, I was never a big fan, but I kind of found my angle, and I ended up really liking the dynamic between the two. And at the same time, like, that's kind of when I figured out my Spider-Man. With Mythos Spider-Man, I wanted to pay homage to the original. I wanted it to look like a Ditko, do my own tweaks after he gets past the first homemade suit. But once I got to 2008, like, that's my Spidey, and he hasn't changed a whole lot since then. So I don't know. But then, I mean, One Moment in Time is actually what I think is I think that's my best art that I've done for Spidey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just want to remind people too, in case you need any reason to want this piece even more, the news that was just announced, and in case anybody was not with us at the beginning of the show, but Paulo is now working for Marvel Studios, and he is working on Spider-Man. So this is the piece you want, ladies and gentlemen. This is the piece that you definitely want to have in your collection, because you will regret it if you don't have it. And I think Jiggy knows that. And he's playing hardball. He wants this piece. He did not stay up this late for nothing. He is taking this piece home, I think. He's at 1750. We've got one last piece we got to get to, so we're going to close this out in just a few minutes, but I want to give you guys one more chance in case you want to jump in and destroy Jiggy's late night dreams here. You've got one more chance to get this piece. We're at 1750 from Jiggy Cruz currently. David Jakai says, have to just put this out there. The Valiant is one of my favorite comics from the past 10 years. Been reading for 35 years.
Whoa.
Oh, no. Max Machado coming in with the heat at 1,800. Jiggy, Max is now on your hit list. I apologize.
Man, guys. Save some money for the NFTs.
Jiggy ain't playing.
Don't bid against yourself, Paolo. That's why
I'm not doing any NFTs. Not until they take care of the environment destroying stuff. If they can figure out a way to do that, then I'll think about it. But
Jiggy is back on top at 1,850.
Wow.
So maybe we do a 10 count and
let's do a 10 count. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We're counting this down because we've got one last piece we need to get to. Thank you to everybody who has been participating. Oh my God, E.C. Harris is coming in at $1,900. I haven't even started counting yet. Oh my God, Jiggy Cruz, 22.
Right, Jiggy.
22.
Yeah, he's definitely. It's just
Jiggy
his
means
teeth on the
business.
phone. It's too many twos.
Okay.
Yeah, Jiggy's officially asleep, pushing twos with his nose at this point. Is that what you're saying?
All right. I really want Jiggy to get this. Like, I know I'm supposed to be an impartial auctioneer, but yeah. Max Machado says, "Go Jiggy, I'm out." All right. So, guys, we're gonna count it down. Is anybody gonna slap Jiggy in the face, or are we gonna let him have this? Because I mean, he obviously really wants this piece. Let's say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We're pulling for you, Jiggy. 4, 3, 2, 1. And I think we can safely say Jiggy Cruz is now the proud owner of a Paulo Rivera Spider-Man. Congratulations, Chiggy. We are very, very happy.
Congratulations, Chiggy.
And Joe
You
Rivera.
did not stay up late for nothing. You have won this piece. If you will please go to splashpageart.com and contact Mark K. We'll get everything settled up with you. The chat is loving this. Everybody is congratulating Jiggy. They're like, congratulations, Jiggy. Congrats, Jiggy. Here we go. There's some more.
I think Jiggy
Look at that,
knows
Jiggy.
how to
Everybody
get hold
loves
of
you.
me. So
Thank
Jiggy,
you.
drop me a line. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank
Congratulations.
you so much, Jiggy.
All right,
Appreciate
so
it.
let me hide this piece so that we can take one last look at the Wonder
So we're
Woman
going to need
piece.
some cooperation from Paolo here because we weren't sure if he was going to have the Wonder Woman far enough along to be able to auction it, but we're going to go for it. So this is a 4x6 illustration board with Wonder Woman's pencils on it. Paolo, you want to tell people how you're going to finish that off? And then after you do that, we will start it off at $250.
Yep. So these are just the pencils. I'm gonna obviously detail out the hair a lot more. When I draw Wonder Woman, and really like almost any superhero, who I look to first is Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. I don't try to copy him, but like he's kind of my North Star as far as how superheroes look in my brain. Because it's just his licensing art from the 80s. That's just what I saw a lot, especially for the DC characters. And so he's really like my inspiration for most of those, basically the whole Justice League. So yeah, I'll take these pencils and then I will ink over top using my Pentel pocket brush pen, and then watercolor over that. And hopefully I won't paint her face green.
So it will be similar to the Mandalorian and the Grogu piece.
So Jill Loudon started us off at $250. Jackie One coming in at $300, and Jill is back at $350. Our current bid on this piece is $350, ladies and gentlemen.
And so, realistically, when do you think we will see the finished painted Wonder Woman piece?
Well, my kids get back in an hour. So if I can get it done before then, no, I will get it done this week and get it shipped this week as well. Well, once I actually start drawing, it actually goes pretty quickly. That's kind of why I like these 4x6s, because I don't fret about them. I just start drawing. What takes the most time is cutting down the illustration board to 4x6. Not a whole lot. There's just not a whole lot I can mess up. Of course, I say that now, and I'm going to have an ink spill. But if that happens, I will redraw it.
We've got a subtle rivalry going on here between Jill Loudon and Jackie One. We're currently up to $450 now. Jill has got the high bid, and Jill wants this piece. I think she is all about this piece. So we're going to keep this going until we end this particular segment. So again, if you guys want a piece of artwork from Paulo, this is a great way to get it. If you do not win a piece here, I just want to remind everybody, go to splashpageart.com, contact Mark Hay, who is with me here today. He will take care of you. I know it's not confusing all having two different Marks hosting the show, but Jill is okay. So Jackie was at 500. Jill is now back in at 600.
So I think the moral to the story is, if you art collectors, if you have any trustworthy relatives that live in California that can take care of Paulo's kids, we're going to see a lot more art produced. So call me.
Well, no,
we'll run the references.
It's not even the kids now, Mark. Like, they're mostly taken care of. It's all the adulting. It's all the stuff that I have to do that I didn't have to do when I was 20. Like I got to talk to contractors. We're getting the backyard redone. The bathroom's getting redone. So it's just
house manager is what.
I'm a property manager basically. Okay. That's what I need, but I need someone who can take care of all the things that I don't want to take care of, because I actually do like seeing my kids.
Jackie One is back in at 700. We are currently at 700 on the Wonder Woman, and Jill is back in at 750. Current bid of 750 for Wonder Woman.
Man,
David Wasserman says that. David Wasserman says
Yeah.
Paulo needs a project manager. he
Totally-
has that's called a
totally
wife.
agreed. Well, the thing is, like my wife has the real job, so if anyone needs to work, it's her. But I have the flexibility, which is great. But it also means like I gotta pick up the kids when it's time to pick them up. But I don't want my wife's job. She has to talk to people all day, like, and it's not about.
Well,
comics
Paulo,
anymore.
we're counting down to. We got like about 3 minutes left, but I just want to say, we've done this now a couple of times here at Comic Art Live. It's always a treat to have you on here. You're always fun to talk to, and you seem like you've got a really great outlook on how you do all this stuff, and it seems like you genuinely enjoy it. So for me personally, speaking on behalf of comic art fans, thank you so much for always being so willing to join us and talk about your process. It's great having you on here, and it's great to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit and see how you do what you do. And so my appreciation to you for that.
The pleasure is all mine, and like I will never forget your name because you guys always come in together, and I'm like, I can't fail. This is
Mark Square.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we're getting really close to the end here, so we're at 7:50 right now. Jill has got the high bid at 7:50. We've got about 2 minutes left, and so we want to thank all of you for joining us in the chat. We're going to kind of wrap this up, but just kind of do a little housekeeping here. Again, if you guys are joining us late, if you've missed out on bidding on any of the pieces, you can go to splashpageart.com and contact Mark Hay. He will take care of you, and you can pick up a piece for yourself. I will be back after this particular segment later today at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, talking to the legendary Howard Chaykin. So join us for that. That's kind of a last-minute panel that we got added in here. We're really excited about that. So we are at 7:50. Jill Loudon has the high bid. We've got about a minute left. So if anybody, what happens if I outbid myself, says Jill. Well, Jill, I think you would win it if you did that. But currently you are at 7:50. So you've got the high bid.
So maybe start the 10 count then, since that'll be getting close to the time frame.
All right, guys, here we go. Counting down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Paulo, you want to hold it up there? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Jill. You have got the Wonder Woman. Fantastic. And I know that
Thank you, Jill.
I know she's very excited about that too. So Jill, congrats. You are now the proud owner of a Paulo Rivera Wonder Woman. Jackie, I'm sorry we didn't see it. We've already counted it down. It's already ended. I am so sorry about that. We got to wrap it up because we're at the end of the show here. So, all right. So, Paulo, thank you so much once again for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Let's do it again if you're willing, and we'll have some more pieces that we can auction off. And big thanks to Mark Hay at Splash Page Art for joining us as well. Again, if you guys would like to pick up any pieces by Paulo or any of Mark's other artists and his amazing stable of talent, you can do so at splashpageart.com. And we want to thank all of you for joining us at Comic Art Live. Stay tuned. There is more to come. Thank you, Paulo.
Thank you so much, guys. I
Nice
had a great
seeing both
time.
of you guys.
Thanks for all
Thanks
the
everybody.
support.
Y'all take care.
Thank you.